he had his robots serving drinks. And one of his robots asked the guy for an ID, and he gave it to him. And he's like, sorry, you're underage. He's like, oh, just kidding. Here you go. I'm like, bro, a robot is making jokes, asking for an ID.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Those
a little too smart.
Paid 30 grand, have one of those in your house?
I wouldn't.
Heck no.
All right, guys, he is back, Mark. And man, we broke the internet that first time.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it again.
That was fun.
There's a lot going on since you came on.
Dude, everything's getting exposed.
Dude, I don't even know where to start. I mean, seeing Kamala's endorsements the week before the election was interesting.
Oh man, the Diddy party endorsements. No, that was wild. You had Beyonce, Usher, J-Lo, everyone associated with Diddy endorsing Kamala. Hey, but that's up to them.
Yeah.
They lost. They're probably all going to leave the country. But
I was shocked with the Eminem one. LeBron didn't shock me, to be honest.
Eminem honestly kind of hurt, man.
That one hurt.
I grew up listening to that guy,
Same.
and I'm like, I didn't know you were like that, bro. Like, bringing out Obama is crazy. I was like,
They must have something on him, dude, because he's not. I feel like he's not like that.
well, I feel like he's not doing it for money. Surely that guy's got all the money in the world, probably all the power that he's ever wanted. So it makes you wonder, he must have done something sus where he has to go out there because he actually needs Kamala as president.
That's what I'm saying.
Trump comes and he starts exposing things that the industries are doing, and now he's under fire and everyone associated with him goes down.
Yeah.
So, some really weird stuff going on out there.
That was weird, but I know Cardi B got offered some money for sure.
Oh,
because
my.
I was behind the scenes on that. I saw some of my friends get asked to line that up.
Yeah, there was a lot of just a lot of people that are posting on social media that get a good amount of views are just getting reached out to 20K just to sit in the crowd. Imagine
Damn.
what a Cardi B is getting.
Just
You know
to
what
sit in
I'm
the
saying?
crowd.
Yeah, just to sit in the crowd and post a couple Instagram stories like, oh, vote for Kamala to their 100,000 followers. Then you have a Cardi B, she's getting,
Seven figures
millions.
for sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, Kamala raised $1 billion in a few months.
Over $1 billion, man.
Just wild. It makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder. Yeah, but it seems like the times are changing because these celebrity endorsements didn't seem to matter that much this election.
I think people, that's what's cool about this day and age, because if you talk about, how evil the industry is a few years ago, some people know, but now that social media is talking about it and they're just showing you, they're not even giving their opinions, they're showing you what these people are doing, and people are, we can't defend this anymore. I don't care for Eminem. I grew up listening to Eminem. I see that, I'm like, no, man, there's something up with that. His new music, like, that's not him. You see Cardi B, the way she's, you know what she said the second that Trump basically, like, everyone thought they were winning? She's like, that's why these states are getting hurricanes. Right after North Carolina, Trump won North Carolina. It's like, how could you say that? Oh, that's why North Carolina is getting hurricanes. Because she's obviously really mad about something, and they know these guys are getting exposed.
Absolutely. I thought the recent hurricanes were fishy, dude.
They were fishy. And they couldn't drop off those care packages, and Elon was going crazy about it. He wanted to help them. It's like, why would you block off all of this stuff? And then how long after was the next hurricane?
Felt like at least a week, right?
That made no sense.
It was quick.
Yeah.
Like back to back.
And it's hard to look into that stuff too, because if you post anything about hurricanes and artificial weather, they're always just fact checking you, and it's hard to post. And that's why you have to go to X for that stuff. I feel like.
100%. I remember when I posted about the Hawaii wildfires last year, the whole clip got deleted.
Same thing. And that's why I try not to post a lot about it, because it's, there's something fishy, but it's like the fact that you have to worry about getting fact checked or banned over something like that when you know it's true, it's really sketchy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but those hurricanes, that weather manipulation, it's scary.
I mean, they've already proved weather manipulation exists.
Yeah, the cloud seeding, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in Dubai, it went fully underwater. Like they said, cloud seeding. Like, oops, we messed up a little bit.
A little too much rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shout out to Elon on that stance. But on the other side of the coin, Elon's robots, what do you think about those?
Those were sketchy. Did you see the We Robot convention?
Yeah.
He had his robots serving drinks. And one of his robots asked the guy for an ID, and he gave it to him. And he's like, sorry, you're underage. He's like, oh, just kidding. Here you go. I'm like, bro, a robot is making jokes, asking for an ID.
Shout out to today's sponsor, Specialized Recruiting Group. When your company has a position to fill, are you really seeing the best candidates? Sure, you get plenty of resumes, but you may be missing an untapped resource. Ideal candidates who are not currently job searching. People who are not actively looking, but who may be open to the right opportunity. It could be the difference between a good hire and a great hire. Specialized Recruiting Group is ready to find the talent you need. Go to srgpros.com, see how our recruitment specialists with a deep understanding of experience and expertise you need can find the right fit for your business. After all, you deserve to see the best candidates possible, both active and passive. Whether you're looking for a contract or a direct hire, Specialized Recruiting Group is ready to find the talent you need. So go to srgpros.com right now to get started. That's srgpros.com. Specialized Recruiting Group, a tailored approach to hiring. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Those
A little too smart.
paid 30 grand, have one of those in your house?
I wouldn't.
Heck no.
It's like when Alexa came out, I was like, that shit's gonna spy on you.
Yeah.
I don't want one.
I mean, their a little advertisement for the robots has the robots just cleaning their dishes and the kids are just walking around and like, oh, hey, like, you want like any food? It's like, bro, what?
I'm good on that, dude.
I'm off those robots. I don't mind the Teslas, but I need a gas car in my house too.
Yeah.
But the robots going too far, in my opinion. The cars, just fine. It's good for the whatever, but just in case something happens, I need some type of gas cars at my house.
I need gas just because I've heard about this kill switch in electric vehicles. Have you heard about this?
Was that the similar thing that happened in that movie, Leave the World Behind?
I didn't see that one.
Like all the Teslas auto drove and like all crashed into each other.
Oh, wow.
So like they can get programmed to just move on their own. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, apparently there's a kill switch where someone could just turn it off and your car shuts off. So you could be driving and then...
I mean, that makes sense because when you buy the auto driving, isn't it just an update?
Yeah, they can update it whenever. You could turn it on. You could pay 10 grand and turn it on right now. It might even be cheaper now.
Yeah, and they're not installing anything. You just update the program.
Yeah.
That's sus.
So they have access to turn it on and off.
So surely they can stop the car.
If they wanted to, yeah.
Because it's an update.
Yeah.
That's... I'm good, bro.
Plus just the EMFs and shit in it. Like,
no, I'm good.
I used to own a Tesla. I still have it, but I like gas now, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them for other people. I don't have a problem if you're driving one. Personally, I probably won't get one, but that's just me personally.
Yeah. I mean, gas is like more safe, even though it's expensive these days.
Yeah, but I mean, we spend so much money on other stuff, man. we can put a few extra dollars in gas.
Yeah. What have been your biggest videos lately?
A lot of the P. Diddy stuff, man. And just the old clips, man. The old clips of this guy at his parties. Because everyone knew the guy's having parties, right?
Yeah.
But when you start to see them, when you know what these lawsuits are saying, and you see the celebrities in them, you know, you see like Ashton Kutcher at the parties, and you see all like Usher, how he said, you know, Usher, when he was just a kid, was, you know, staying at my place, and he would come out to the parties and, you know, see how we're doing things, and, you know, how he took Justin Bieber under his wing when he was 15. You're like, hold on. It might have been chill back then when it was just a rapper just trying to mentor someone. But when you realize all the stuff he's been doing and that he's in jail for these sick and twisted things, those videos just start popping and everyone's like, man, there's a lot of people that are associated with this guy. And that's why just the industry is so silent. So a lot of the P. Diddy stuff, man, it's going to be trending probably for the next year or two because the trials coming up, you know how those goes, they're going to push it back and all that stuff. So lots of P. Diddy, man.
Diddlers. When you start seeing those old clips,
the old clips are sus.
Yeah, and seeing people's body language around him, like Bieber and Usher, it's like, damn, how long has he had a hold on these people?
Exactly. They're either terrified or controlled by him.
100%.
And it's scary, bro, because he's probably not the only one out there either. But he's just the face of it, you know?
Yeah, I wonder how big the game is, like where he is on the chessboard. Like he might not even be like a queen, like a king or something.
I think that the real guys on top they're the guys on the record labels, right? Because they're the ones who's signing the Diddies and telling them what to do, the ones funding Diddy. So those guys are at the top, and they're kind of just in the back watching this happen, probably behind the scenes. Because you don't be like, oh, that's the record label guy. No, you're like, oh, that's the rapper. But when they're getting funded, they're just the little chess pieces, the little Diddies, the little Jay-Z's.
Yeah.
So I'm more terrified about the record label executives. That's
Yeah.
who I think is behind it all.
I saw some of them resigned, right, when he got exposed.
Yeah, what was it? I forgot who it was, but there was a lot of big record label CEOs that stepped down. But I also heard at that time was also the, what do you call it? The calendar year where you have to like step down and they're hiring new people.
Okay.
So it could also be that,
That's
you
a
know,
weird coincidence.
allegedly. But, you know, how many coincidences can there be?
Usher deleted all his tweets and he said it was a glitch or something.
Yeah, that guy's so sus, man. Like, why even hide, bro? We know. Like, just let it be.
Yeah.
He just deletes them. And it was funny. I was making a video just talking about how he deleted them, and I was just going to screenshot his Twitter. And then the next day he says, oh, sorry, got glitched. Made you guys think. I'm like, bro, no one cares. He's probably be some type of cleaning or something.
Yeah, there was a couple that deleted all their tweets. It wasn't just him.
Yeah, there was, I think it was Pink.
Pink, yeah.
Yeah, and she's sus too. There's some videos of her like grabbing Justin Bieber when he was a kid too.
I saw that, kissing him and stuff.
Like on the concert, just like, oh, I have to kiss him.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with Bieber, man. He looks, just his body language and like his facial expressions the past couple years,
Dude,
really depressing.
I feel so bad for that guy. And obviously, oh, he's a billionaire, whatever, millionaire, one of the biggest artists. But when you go back, you need to watch. Have you seen the clip where Diddy's has him, right? And
yeah.
He's 15 years old, and he has a Lamborghini outside. He's like, at 16, you get the Lambo. When you're 18, you get the house. And then they sit in front of the camera. They're like, I have custody for Justin Bieber, 48 hours, just like I did with Usher. We're not going to tell you what we're going to do, but he's going to have the time of his life. I'm going to show him the life. And he's like, Justin, what do you want to do? He's like, oh, let's go get girls. He's like, oh, that's my man. That's how we like it. And the video ends. For the next 48 hours, this guy is with P. Diddy. And, you know, he's probably forcing him to do stuff. P. Diddy is just watching him, you know, in the clubs. He has all these parties, probably recording it. And he's probably keeping those tapes. And allegedly, one of the biggest Diddy tapes out there is supposedly Justin Bieber when he was a kid and Diddy. And that's, I guess, being shopped for millions along the elites. And that's an allegation. That's not fact.
Wow.
And I've just heard that from some lawyers on just hopping on some news shows and saying that the tapes are being shopped. And allegedly one of the biggest ones is Diddy and Bieber. And it makes sense because you see the video when he's 15, and then years go by. Now you look at Justin Bieber. I mean, this guy is at his concerts just pleading for people to find God and like being so emotional and like, man, I went through so much. Like, God is the only way to get you out of this. Like, it's evil out there and all this stuff. I'm like, what happened to this guy? And now it makes sense. The guy doesn't talk about anything. He just looks so broken. It's like just heartbreaking after you see videos like that. And the worst part of it all is if that tape is true, that guy is going to get so much backlash. And to be honest with you, it's not really his fault. Like, yeah, he did things, but he was a kid, one of the biggest artists in the world, sold into the industry when he's 15. And then these tapes come out because he was forced to do whatever the heck he was doing.
Yeah.
And then now this guy's life is even more ruined. And what did he do? He just got forced because he thought like that was the thing to do.
Right.
Because he was a kid.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of collateral damage if these Diddy tapes do come out. And it's just, it's sick.
That's wild.
It's just sick.
You think they'll ever get leaked or come out?
Well, recently, just a few days ago, a guy testified in front of the grand jury, Courtney Burgess. He said he has 11 Diddy tapes.
Damn.
They were given to him by Kim Porter, who was P. Diddy's ex-girlfriend. And she mysteriously passed away from pneumonia when she was, I think, in her 40s.
I saw that,
model,
yeah.
Super sus. And she released a memoir, too, allegedly. I don't know if it was exactly her words because she didn't release it. It was someone else. But they said this is her memoir and this is her final words. And it talks about all the twisted things P. Diddy did. And this guy says one of his flash drives contains Kim Porter's memoir. She also gave him 11 flash drives of the stuff that was going on, 11 different tapes, 2 to 3 of them, he said, being minors of tapes. And when they were being filmed, they said that they were on their way to the grand jury to hand over evidence. And this was just a few days ago. So it's a developing story, and I think it's going to be really interesting. And the New York Post, like pretty reliable news source, they said that it's a big thing that these tapes are being shopped. They're out there, but they're being shopped and no one can see them. But the New York Post put out an article saying that they viewed 2 or 3 of these tapes, and they wrote an article about the tapes, what they saw. And they didn't say anything like crazy, but basically they said in 2004 and 2005, the New York Post exclusively viewed these tapes. And one of them was, so he would throw these parties after big celebrity events. So one of them was after the VMAs in 2004. So the VMAs happened, there's an after party, and then they said, at a certain time at Diddy's after party, the big name celebrities, the ones we know about, would slowly leave, and then sex workers would come in and they would do weird stuff, take drugs, and get intimate with each other. And they give a lot of detail. You can go read it if you want. Next one was 2005 Super Bowl. They said big party after the Super Bowl. Same thing. They said allegedly the big names walked out. They're probably just saying that to protect them. But after that, freak off, guy on guy, Diddy recording tapes, doing stuff while he's recording, drugs, a lot of nasty things. And this is a big news source saying that they saw these tapes themselves. The article is out there. So really weird. But everyone's like, it's not illegal to be a freak and like to do weird stuff with whoever the heck you want to. That's not illegal. The thing is, when the kids come in, when you start drugging them, when you start recording them without them knowing, and that's what people want to know. Who are the young celebrities? There's these clips of he's telling 13-year-old girls at the VMAs, hey, are you going to the after party?
Wow.
Sure, you saw that clip viral. So they're saying we need to find out if there's what illegal stuff is happening, and we need evidence of it. And that's the big thing. They need to find the evidence of the underage, the drugging, the blackmail, the abuse.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. And I think there's a good chance. If that guy is lying, then whatever. But if he's not, he's testifying in front of the grand jury. So we'll find out soon.
Damn, that's nuts. I wonder who's shopping the tapes. I wonder who actually has them right now.
Yeah, I mean, they said a lot of media sources, and I guess this guy, Courtney Burgess, has 11 flash drives full of it.
So he's the one shopping them?
I guess so. I don't know if he's shopping them, but he said he has them.
Wow.
There might be a bunch of different copies. I mean, this guy was doing it for also 20 plus years, Diddy. I mean, so there's probably a lot of them. I don't know who has them. I don't know if that information's out there, but I guess we'll find out one day.
I saw Diddy's Bodyguard go on Patrick Ray-David's show.
Oh, I didn't watch that, but I heard about it, and he said he was doing really sus things, right?
With Meek Mill, yeah.
You saw the Meek Mill clip, right?
Yeah, that was weird, bro.
He's shaking.
People thought it was AI at first, right?
The one of him in the pool, right?
The pool, but there was an audio that got leaked. Did you see the audio?
No.
Oh my God.
That's probably crazy.
Bro. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know what to say about that.
Meek Mill is, oh man, him and Usher.
Yeah.
Those, I have questions about them.
For sure.
No, the one I'm talking about is very real. It's him in the pool.
I saw that one too.
He's
yeah.
just shaking
He's
his
probably
butt.
gonna get called to the trial, right, Meek Mill?
He has to. And P. Diddy's like, get it, daddy. I'm like,
Yeah,
what are these guys doing?
it's so wild looking back because it was in plain sight and people just didn't even know.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because 20 years ago, or not even 5 years ago, no one thought P. Diddy was like, oh, the guy is like known for Ciroc, big record label back in the day, had cool parties. So everyone thought the guy was pretty cool. Obviously, a lot of sketchy allegations in the past, but when you see the details in these lawsuits, they're unfathomable. Like, they're sickening.
Yeah.
And then you see the clips, you're like,
It doesn't make it better. Where do you think Jay-Z and Beyonce play into this Diddy stuff?
Oh, man. I think Jay-Z and Beyonce are powerful, and they're a lot worse.
Really? Than Diddy?
Yeah. I think, well, because here's the thing, and they're always going to be protected because Jay-Z and Beyonce, they swim in very powerful waters. They have connections with, I mean, we just saw Beyonce give a speech for one of the biggest speeches for Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
They're connected with really powerful people. So here's the thing. If they get caught up in a lawsuit like this, everyone associated with them gets brought down. So that's never going to happen, because you're going to get Kamala Harris in these, you're going to get political people in here, you're going to get massive celebrities that are above these type of music industry people. And if that happens, everything will break loose. I mean, because P. Diddy's the one that basically brought up Jay-Z in the music industry. He was kind of, when he was under the shadow of Biggie, and P. Diddy brought him up. And so that's why they're really good buddies, because when they were young, they were the two kings.
Right.
I mean, P. Diddy was powerful back then. You saw his face just as much as Drake did back in the day. Like, he was just as popular as Drake. Didn't have the bangers of like the songs, but he was, he was dating J-Lo. He was throwing all the cool parties. Ashton Kutcher on speed dial. Like, he was him. And then Jay-Z was right next to him, just more behind the scenes.
Right.
And they're into some dark satanic stuff.
Really?
Those guys, yeah.
Damn.
And then, I mean, you could just see how powerful they are by like when people are giving their speeches, everyone's thanking Beyonce. And you're like, why is everyone thanking Beyonce? I don't know if you heard of that conspiracy.
I haven't.
But you know the song She Knows by J. Cole?
Yeah.
So there's a line that says, rest in peace, Aaliyah. Rest in peace, Left Eye. Michael Jackson, I'll see ya just as soon as I die. So they're saying, and then it goes, she knows. So everyone thinks this song's about Beyonce. Now that the Diddy thing is, they're like, those are three really mysterious deaths. Aaliyah, Left Eye, and Michael Jackson. And the first one is Aaliyah. And Aaliyah, I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Plane crash, right?
Yeah. In the 90s, extremely popular, rising star, mysteriously passes away, plane crash in the Bahamas or something. And the second she passes away, you have Beyonce slingshotting to fame. And everyone in the music industry is like, yo, that's really weird, because they were very similar, but Aaliyah was getting all of the recognition, all of the hits and everything. And then she's gone. Immediately, Beyonce skyrockets. So everyone in the music industry is very suspect about it. And then you have clips resurfacing. All of these artists who are giving their thank you speeches, they're all giving, Beyonce has nothing to do with them, but they're all giving their recognition and thanks to Beyonce. And they're like, why is everyone doing it? I mean, you had Lizzo. She's like, thank you, Beyonce. Like, you're my life. You had Adele. She was crying, saying, thank you, Beyonce, for everything. And then you have Taylor Swift, one of the most popular speeches where Kanye jumps on stage and embarrasses her. She was, fairly new to the industry. This is when she was just rising to fame. She was giving a thank you speech, and then Kanye West runs up, grabs the microphone, and says, Beyonce, no, you're the one that deserves this award. You had the best album. And then gives the phone back to Taylor Swift, and she's like the most embarrassing moment of her life. And then when that resurfaces, they're like, wait, Kanye maybe saved Taylor Swift's life, because if she didn't thank her, maybe she would have been gone.
Whoa.
So everyone's they're thanking Beyonce, because if they don't give her the recognition for the music, they might get some Aaliyah-type conspiracy on them.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's very conspiracy, but it's like, why is everyone thanking Beyonce? And she'll be sitting at these shows, and she'll be delivered her awards. They're like, all right, relax. You can get up on stage and take it and say thank you.
Damn.
But here's another example of how powerful they are recently. So they're giving out cease and desists to people right now making videos of literally what I just said, which is really sus.
Did you get one?
So the second I found out about this, I deleted a lot of my Jay-Z and Beyonce videos.
So I gotta be careful with this one.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed. I'll say I don't care. I'm trying to be safe.
I mean, I'm not trying to spend money on it.
Yeah, exactly. No, so Jaguar Wright, I'm sure you've heard
Oh,
of
she's
her.
been popping off.
Yeah, her whole life is dedicated to just exposing just P. Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, conspiracies. And she has a lot of interesting things. Some of them might be a little wild, but she was on Piers Morgan's show.
Yeah.
He has the uncensored show.
I saw that episode, actually.
Yeah. So she goes crazy about the Aaliyah thing, Jay-Z, Beyonce. And, excuse me, and then a day later, I don't know if it was a day or two, Piers Morgan says, I'm sorry about the clip. I have gotten a cease and desist from Jay-Z and Beyonce. I've never had to do this before, but we deleted the clip of Jaguar Wright. And he says, I'm sorry, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Okay, and like, okay, that's sus.
That's a big show.
Yeah, it's a massive show, and Pierce Morgan's not like a guy he's very aggressive. He's not gonna just go and delete. Like he'll fight for his.
He
thing,
doesn't back down normally ever.
But when you see a name of Jay-Z and Beyonce coming out, you're like, yo, cut. Like we don't play around. And then just like someone in our shoes, big TikToker Noah Glenn Carter made a video about the She Knows thing, the song. And about Jay-Z, Beyonce thanking, everyone's thanking her. And then a day later, he's like, I've gotten an email from someone on Jay-Z and Beyonce's team. And I just want to say, Beyonce, I apologize for making that video. These are pure conspiracies, blah, blah, blah. His old video's gone. And these are all online. You can look at these clips. And back to what I was saying earlier, it's like, these guys have people watching them all day long for clips, stuff like this. They don't want stuff circulating around because of who they're connected with. If any of these things are halfway true or just a little bit of truth, there's so much people associated with them, high-ranking people in the world, that they can't afford to get in trouble for anything. And they probably never will from their ties.
Wow.
So they have a whole legal team just dishing out to TikTokers, to Pierce Morgan. Like, you can't talk about them.
Damn,
really sus.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
Yeah, so all my Beyonce and Jay-Z stuff, all gone.
Yeah, I might have to chill with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got power, man. Diddy's Team Pride tried to do that, but it got too extreme.
You know what? I think they gave up on Diddy.
You think
to be
so?
honest with you. Because I feel like he was in the same shoes earlier. Like the same thing, like you don't talk about Diddy, where his party's protected. I'm sure you just saw that everyone had to sign NDAs at his parties, and you can't even talk about it even 20 years after he died, which is weird. But then at one point, they're probably like, there's too many lawsuits coming out. I mean, there was 120 lawsuits at one point that one guy delivered.
Damn.
Yeah, the Big B, the guy from Texas, he said, I have 120 lawsuits that will be delivered. And this was like a month ago. But it's like, how much can you defend that?
Yeah.
And so there's a point where they're like, yo, man, like, this is on you now. You probably got too high on your own supply where you got carried away, you got careless. All these clips are resurfacing. You don't see that with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah.
They're very strategic the way they move. And I think Diddy just got out of hand. He just got too excited, too much power. And I think the elites or whoever was controlling him, they're like, yo, that's it. Like,
yeah. You think they'll try to take him out in prison like they did with McAfee and with Epstein?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, if he personally has the tapes hidden somewhere, like his family has them, yes. But if everything's already out, he's cooked.
You think so?
But you also have to realize the guy is still very powerful. So something weird's gonna happen, and I'm just curious to see what happens, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is an interesting story. I usually don't care for the celebrity stuff, but this one is pretty interesting because it's affecting a lot of things.
It's affecting a lot of things and the whole industry. I mean, if you got invited to a P. Diddy party, you made it in life.
Yeah.
Because everyone was there. You had the biggest the Kardashians, you had the biggest actors, and you were safe because no one had their phones. Everyone, can connect and do whatever they want with each other. So it affects everyone, bro. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's so crazy. And I hope the trial happens.
Yeah.
I hope it does.
I'd love to see it.
It's going to be so interesting if it does.
Speaking of parties, what about Michael Rubin's parties? You think there's anything nefarious with those?
I think so. But I think Michael Rubin is very smart. Like, he's learned. And I think what happens with these parties is, when they're doing the highlight reel where everyone's, dancing, you got like Kim Kardashian, you got all the NFL players kind of just vibing, everyone's taking videos. I mean, even Michael Rubin, he said it himself. I mean, it's with any party. There's a party, there's an after party, and there's a party after the party.
Right.
So just like any party, I think when the lights go down, things start to get freaky. The thing is with these celebrities and these elites and the people, these billionaires, they've experienced so much highs in their life where, I mean, as any billionaire would, you can do whatever you want at any time. And there gets to a point where you have to start doing some really weird things to get that high.
Right.
And if they all are on video or all have that same elite connection, no one's going to say anything. So I think with a thing like Michael Rubin's party, we're never going to know. I think Diddy slipped up, and that's why there's everything's out there and everyone's learning from him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But who knows? With Trump in office now, maybe he starts investigating stuff like that, if he even cares, to be honest.
I mean, he said he would release the Epstein list. I think he might, so that'd be interesting.
That's one of the main reasons I wanted Trump in office, because he said to Elon, he's like, will you release Epstein? He's like, yeah, of course. And a lot of people are like, no, he's on it. And I'm like, bro, like, we'll see.
He might be. He might be, to be honest.
He might be, but I'll tell you who's not releasing it. Kamala wasn't releasing that list.
Hell no.
So if Trump even acknowledges that question, it's already a win. You know, it's something. It's better than nothing.
Yeah. The list stuff is wild to me because we've had that list for years.
I know. And then everyone was hyped when it came out.
Yeah.
And all we saw was that Bill Clinton visited the island one time for a dinner. And that's really all we got. And it's all just noise to keep us excited, and then it just shuts us down.
Yeah.
Like, we got something, and then what? No one talked about it. We talked about it for a couple of days, and it's gone.
It's gone.
Even when the guy Epstein passed away, talked about it for a few days, and it's gone.
Yeah. And that was a mysterious death for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely took him out, in my opinion.
100%. Yeah. I mean, if you got Bill Clinton on a video, one phone call, guy's gone, nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
For real. I don't really trust Bill Gates, dude.
Yeah.
Have you looked into him yet?
I haven't, because I heard if you post about Bill Gates,
Oh, really?
you're cooked.
Oh, shit. All right.
So I'm like, that's one guy I'm not going to talk about.
I'll edit that one out then.
No, I'm like, yo.
Damn. Yeah, there are some people where you got to stay clear of, I bet.
Like Beyonce, Jay-Z, all good.
Yeah. Even Instagram actually got exposed if you talked negatively about Kamala. Like, they would shadow ban the post.
Really?
Yeah, it got exposed a couple weeks ago.
Oh, interesting. It's good. That was good. That would be good to know earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it with my content. Anytime I posted anything pro-Trump or like anti-Kamala.
Oh, you know what? I looked this up the other day because I was just trying to fact check myself about politics on Instagram, because I know sometimes they're tricky about it.
Yeah.
Instagram has a new policy where if you talk about politics, that it's a shadow ban. They only show it to your followers. They won't show it to non-followers. And it's like an open thing. It's not like a violation. They just won't show it to non-followers. And it's like a thing that Instagram said, which is really interesting.
Okay. That makes more sense then, because a lot of my views come from non-followers. So yeah, maybe I thought
especially with politics. I noticed that too, and it makes a lot of sense. And I guess it sucks that you can't, get a viral video to maybe change people's opinions or just try and teach them something. But then I guess it makes sense. I don't know. It's really interesting why they did that.
Yeah, I wonder why. I guess it was causing a lot of division, to be honest.
That's probably what it is. And maybe a lot of fake news too. It's like, don't persuade people to vote just because they read an article, or I don't know. But
yeah, who knows?
It's over now.
Hopefully Trump releases the JFK stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I don't know why people are so like, oh, why do you think Trump's not going to release anything on JFK or release anything on Epstein? It's like, why are you worried about not? The fact that he's down to expose, even if he's not, it's doing something. We got basically two choices. We don't have Jesus Christ coming down as president and going to expose everything. You got to do what you can with what you got,
Yeah.
So it's like, if this is our best bet, let's see it.
Yeah, let's at least try it. He said he didn't release it the first presidency because there was people still alive that were involved.
Really?
That's what he said, actually.
Yeah, I need to look more into that. That's a very interesting subject. He talked about that?
He literally said that, yeah. He said there's people alive that were still involved in that incident, so out of respect for them, he didn't release it.
You said that on like a podcast?
Yeah, and he's been going on a lot of podcasts. I think he won because of podcast, dude.
Dude, that's what Joe Rogan and Elon.
Yeah.
Oh my
They really
goodness.
helped. And Milk Boys.
I think Elon was a major factor in the way Trump won.
100%, because he had Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter had a lot of impact this election.
Yeah, and he was popping off, exposing, talking about things. And I heard his podcast with Joe Rogan was really good.
How about 40 million views or something?
Yeah.
And then YouTube censored it.
Yeah.
Holy crap. You couldn't even look it up.
It would only show the clips.
Yeah.
You'd have to go on Joe Rogan's page. And like a lot of people don't know really how to do that.
Nah,
right?
not older people.
Yeah. My dad wanted to watch the podcast, and I'm like, just search it, and like it'll be the first thing. Just Trump and Joe Rogan. It's gonna be the first video. He's like, I don't see it. There's like a 10-minute clip. I'm like, what? And I clicked on it. You have to click the little face of Joe Rogan and then go and then press videos. and then go to the first one. He's like, I don't know how to do
No
it.
one,
Like,
yeah, if you're older.
And then I saw the video that Elon released, screen recording, just searching it. I'm like, damn, that's actually real. And especially right when after it comes out, it's on the Explore pages and everything. So it's already cooked, even if they fix it.
Yep.
After the first 24 hours, everyone's going to see it. And then it dies down. It's over.
It's over. Yeah, most of your views are the first day. That sucks. But it doesn't shock me because Google's one of the biggest donors for the Democrats.
Oh, they are, huh?
And they own YouTube, so.
That sucks how they can do it to people like Joe Rogan and Trump.
It does suck. But even the assassination attempt, you couldn't even Google that when it happened. Remember that?
Yes.
So
yeah, oh man, that I posted 3 videos on TikTok. I don't know why out of all the TikTok's usually good about this stuff. And then I refresh my phone, I get 3 strikes, account warning. I'm like, what? Well, I've never even gotten like an account warning. And it was 3 videos on the Donald Trump assassination attempt, all 3 of them. And thank God I had to connect that TikTok. I'm like, yo, bro, like, what is this? He's like, dude, that's really weird, but like, don't worry, I got you. Thank God he was there. But assassination attempt, bro. I think the algorithms and like the owners, whoever's doing that, they just freak out when something like that happens. So they just suppress everything.
I can see that.
And it kind of sucks.
I got banned again last week on TikTok. Thank God I have a guy, dude.
Those guys are, we need one for Instagram, man.
Same, yeah.
TikTok is leveling up.
TikTok's quick though. When I get banned, I get it back in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. You have like you text them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so good with that, bro.
Yeah, fucking Eminem video.
Really?
Yeah, some guest talked about Eminem endorsing Kamala, and that was the one that got me banned.
That's so weird how they're like that on politics for TikTok, especially because it's not based in the United States.
TikTok, I would say, leans pretty left for politics. From what I've seen, at least.
Well, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, you got Harry Sisson on there, Dean Withers. They're getting like so many views.
It's true. I've never had like a Trump video pop off.
No,
ever.
Never.
Except for the ones that got banned.
Not on TikTok. Yeah, maybe Twitter and sometimes Instagram, but yeah, it's interesting times, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
These naked rituals. So John Cena, do you think that was what do you think happened with that?
Oh, John, what award was that?
Was that at the Emmys or Oscars or something?
The Oscars.
Yeah.
That was weird. John Cena coming out naked. We were watching it, and my mom was just like, "What is going on now with TV?" She's like very Middle Eastern, like, "What is this?" I'm like, "No way." This guy has a cardboard thing, just the only thing covering him at the Oscars. Like, bro, what are we watching? Surely there's so many different ways you can entertain that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think that was definitely some type of humiliation ritual.
Had to be.
Because that guy, John Cena, he has a lot of movies wearing dresses and wigs, and then he comes out and does this. I think he just likes to get money. Because when you do stuff like that, you open up the whole audience of the whole world of any beliefs, transgender, straight, everything. If you wear a dress in a movie, your audience is now every single person in the world. It's not tailored to just masculine people or feminine people. It's the whole world. So they pay those big time actors an insane amount of money when they do sus things like that. So I think that's just a guy that likes to get his money and doesn't really care how he gets it.
Damn.
And it's unfortunate, but Cat Williams talks about it.
Yeah, they try to make him put a dress on in the movie, right?
He's like Fast and Furious 4, 5, 6. He's like all that, I don't care about that money. I'm not putting on no dress, no agenda, nothing like that. He's like, Kevin Hart, on the other hand, industry plant, he'll do whatever they want, dresses, all that.
He called out Kevin Hart in that episode.
Bro. I mean, I respect Cat Williams because one of the people will listen to what he says. See, a lot of people can say these. Like, I can sit here and be like, oh, there's an agenda. And people are like, who is this guy? Mm-hmm. But you have Cat Williams. He says, when those guys put on a dress, that's it. Like, they sold out. Like, they're getting so much money for that. And, hey, if they want to do it, that's on them. But for me, that's not how I was raised. That's not what I like. And I'm not going to get paid to do that. I don't care what movie it is. Fast and Furious, biggest movie in the world. He's like, no, I'm not going to do it.
I can't even watch the newer ones. It's not the same.
Yeah, I stopped.
There's like
After
10 of them now.
After Paul Walker, I'm like, no.
Yeah. No,
it's not
there's,
gonna be the same.
there's literally 10 of them, and every time they're like, yo, this is the last one.
Yeah, you got Kevin Hart, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, the whole squad.
Yeah, Vin Diesel.
Yeah, Vin Diesel. It's like,
Yeah, the
bro,
dress stuff is nuts. I remember the first time I saw that was a Young Thug album. He was wearing a dress on the album artwork. I was like, what is this?
Nah, these rappers, bro.
A lot of these rappers are compromised.
All of them. Drake with his little pigtails and his painted nails, and
Yeah.
Lil Uzi wearing a purse at Coachella. Playboy Cardi wearing thongs.
He
And,
wore thongs?
yeah.
Oh my God.
Weird, bro, with his upside down crosses and his little rituals.
Yeah.
It gets dark, man.
What's the upside down cross? What does that symbolize?
So, well, I mean, so Playboy Cardi's whole album, Opium, he has his own record label, and all of his artists wear an upside down cross.
Damn.
So it's they have like a very demonic agenda, and so just for example, remember when Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, Ice Spice puts up the devil horns, and she had an upside down cross, and people are like, why is she wearing an upside down cross? That upside down cross was gifted to her by Playboy Cardi. And she's at the Super Bowl on the biggest stage in the world, randomly next to Taylor Swift. Weirdest duo in the world. Taylor Swift does her viral moment of chugging beer, and then Ice Spice is like, oh my gosh, it's happening, basically. And then does devil horns and puts her cross like this. That's an upside down cross. And like, that's the most weirdest, scriptest, demonic thing I've ever seen.
That is nuts.
So
At the Super Bowl halftime show?
yeah.
Dude, that's like 100 million viewers, right?
Yeah, the biggest stage in the world. They show Taylor Swift and then this demonic Ice Spice upside down cross, devil horn hand gesture, and just really weird stuff. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the music industry, bro. But
That Taylor Swift relationship was weird too with Travis Kelce.
yeah, well, what's even weirder is Lucien Grange, CEO of Universal Music, biggest record label. That's where Taylor Swift's under. And Lucien Grange, his son, works for Atlantic Records. And the biggest star under Atlantic Records is Ice Spice. So, and then his dad's biggest star under UMG is Taylor Swift. So people are like, how are Taylor Swift and Ice Spice randomly buddies? Well, father and son's biggest artists, they tell them what to do, and they're seen at the Super Bowl together. And they're like, how do we get our nice little demonic agenda from our record label to them? Oh, let's just get Ice Spice, the girl who just shakes her butt and does weird demonic stuff, next to Taylor Swift on the biggest screen. And there you go.
Wow. That is nuts.
That's how the relationships happen. Those record labels, once they sign the contract, they have to do what they say.
Yeah.
Talk about the music they want, hang out with those people, all that stuff.
Yeah. The music industry's definitely been exposed, but the one that's surprising me now is the fashion industry.
Oh, dude, it's creepy.
Yeah, even those guys.
I think the fashion industry is way worse and creepier than the music
Really?
industry. Yeah.
Wow.
So Michelle Lamy, I've made a lot of videos on her, and she's that creepy looking girl with the dyed fingers. Her fingers are dyed black, and she's married to Rick Owens, who is known as the Lord of Darkness in the fashion industry. And that is the most interesting relationship because she's like almost 20 years older than him. And his shows are so freaky. I made a video on the last one in the Fashion Week 2024, and all of the models, their eyes were pitch black, and they were just wearing these very scary looking outfits. And sitting right front row is Cardi B, and she sees Michelle Lamy and Rick Owens. And the way that these artists look at her and the way they talk to her, it's like she's a god. And it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. You have Usher. She's backstage of A$AP Rocky.
Wow.
And they're like shaking her and they're taking pictures. Just search Michelle Lamy pictures with celebrities. Kim Kardashian, Kanye, Jay-Z, all these people. And they're into some very dark stuff because the reason I know that specifically is because she's really good friends with Marina Abramovich, and she's an artist and fashion designer, and she's known for her spirit cooking, like just the random thing that she does. She calls it art, but she gets pig's blood and writes out rituals on the wall.
What?
Open stuff. Just search Marina Abramovich spirit cooking, and you'll see all the weird pictures. But
God.
she's very famous. You just search her with all the celebrities. Same thing. Kim Kardashian, Jay-Z, Kanye, all the Migos, all these rappers. So they have really close ties with these very high fashion, very high profile art and all that stuff. And they do these weird rituals, and just the art in itself is weird. I mean, she had a whole thing where she had food shaped in the shape of bodies, and her and Lady Gaga, there's a picture of her just eating out of a body, and it's like art, and it looks so realistic and creepy.
That is wild.
So I'm heavily off of the art industry, and the hip hop industry is very dark. Unfortunately, there's a lot of good music in it. So
Yeah, and you got that Abercrombie guy, right? He got exposed.
Oh, yeah, that's also the fashion industry,
Yep.
and that's hopefully gonna be fact. I mean, not hopefully, but I mean, hopefully they get charged for what they did. But they were running a sex trafficking ring from, I think it ended in 2014, but they were doing it for 6 years. And that was when Abercrombie, completely different brand now after that CEO left. That's actually a whole different style. But back then, you had the models, like those, those guys with their shirt off. Everyone knew Abercrombie. It's like the models and the old vibe of it. And supposedly all those models there was a sex trafficking ring. So the CEO and his partner, they were like intimate together, whatever, and they're into. But what they would do is they would hire these fashion models, go around the world looking for the best looking young male models. And what they would have to do is their interview was they would have to get intimate with this guy, this older guy. And if they were good at what they did, whatever, sickos, they would now be hired to go do these sex acts and performances and, just pleasure people at these parties. And if they refused, well, they would be threatened that they would lose their modeling job. It would look really bad on their career. And if they did it, they'll be like, you'll be the top model for Abercrombie. You're going to get a lot of good connections. But you have to go do these things at these parties with these men and women and basically let them do what they want to you.
Wow.
So they got arrested. So hopefully that gets exposed. I think about 15 men came out saying they were drugged and they had to
Holy crap.
do that stuff to get the spot. They had to get intimate with that guy. They had to go to these parties around the world and do what they had to do with them.
That is crazy.
So really sick stuff. And it makes you wonder, bro, like after this P. Diddy thing, a lot of this stuff came out. It just makes you realize no one would ever think Abercrombie was doing that.
Yeah.
But imagine all these other brands, like Balenciaga, like all these
Off-White,
all these random where these celebrities are endorsing and sometimes their ads look a little sketchy. No one thinks about sex trafficking or dark stuff like that until it actually happens. But the issue is, just as a young model for Abercrombie, you come out, make this lawsuit, who's going to believe you? Right? So you need a whole team behind you, and it's hard to go against these people because it's a lot of money. Not a lot of people have a lot of money to go sue billion-dollar companies and Diddy, who has billions of dollars. And sometimes there's under-the-table stuff that happens to you. So it's scary, and I feel really bad for those people that...
Yeah, it's also vulnerable. Like, it's embarrassing for them probably, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'll imagine, like, I go and do that. All my homies are going to know, my family around the world. Like, that's it. Like, that's what your image is.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, man. They're the ones really exposing these things, the ones going through that stuff. So hopefully it keeps coming out and more stuff gets exposed.
That's nuts. Another big company, Boeing, you think they're going to start getting sued?
Oh, man,
For the airplane failures?
Well, that's the scariest thing because, I mean, you got lives, people traveling every day with the wings flying off. And there was actually an interrogation where they're just grilling the CEO, and he was just sitting there and taking it all. And they got to fix that, man, because I travel a lot, bro. So I hope that gets fixed. Boeing is super sketchy for sure.
The weird part about that case is a couple whistleblowers have mysteriously died.
Yeah. I remember that one of the guys, he was working for the safety unit, and he saw that there was a lot of checks and balances that weren't being done. and sues them. And he says, man, I've been working for them forever. When that door flew off, that really viral video, he's like, that's why it's happening, because they're not doing these things. They failed a bunch of audits for safety, Boeing. And then that guy randomly shot himself in the head just a few weeks later, the lawsuit. It's like, bro. And then it happens again.
Happened twice, I think, yeah.
Yeah. It's like Boeing.
It's like, damn, man.
But Boeing, I mean, company like that, they run the world. Bro,
yeah.
Unfortunately. What are you going to do?
You need them to fly. I mean,
yeah, what are you going to do?
I'm on a 737, honestly, at least once a month.
it's crazy, bro. It's like, no, it'll never happen to me. And then you look on your phone, they're like, oh, another wing flew off.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God.
Like, there was that flight where all the doctors died, right? Was that a Boeing flight?
In Brazil? I don't know if it was.
Yeah, that was
sketchy because there's a bunch of cancer doctors going to convention on there.
Yeah.
How does a flight randomly... Because usually when a plane crashes, it's like, okay, the engine breaks down and they're slowly going down. They're trying to land, a bad landing, and it just goes in flames.
Yeah.
The one in Brazil with the cancer doctors, they didn't even care. It was just spiraling all the way down to the ground and explodes. It's like,
damn.
And they said it's because ice was building up on the wings. I mean, I don't know if that was a fact, but they said that must be why the reason is, because it was in flames. You can't see any of the thing. But they're like, if we had to guess... Because their final words came out on the black box, and they said there was no warning, there was no like Mayday call.
Whoa!
So it just happened out of nowhere, and if you're spiraling down, you're not going to say anything. You're literally just
reacting. Yeah,
we're cooked. But they said, and it was in the summer too, which is weird. I guess the elevation can change that when you're higher, but ice building up on the wings and it just collapses.
In the summer, when they've probably taken that route thousands of times.
In Brazil, where it gets to like 120 probably.
Yeah.
And I'm over this.
And apparently they had some new finding they were about to talk at a conference about, right? The doctors.
Yeah, I guess they had some type of, I don't know if it was some type of medicine for cancer, but really high-profile cancer doctors. I think it was 8 of them.
Yeah.
And then a few of them took the earlier flight, thank God.
Whoa.
Yeah, a few of them, I guess something happened, so they took the earlier flight.
Oh, imagine being that person.
They made it, and all your colleagues are cooked, and it's like...
Survivor's guilt.
Why aren't we hearing from those guys that made it either?
For real. I haven't heard shit from them. They're probably spooked,
I just thought about them like, wait, it's been a while now. What? Like, surely they said something about it.
I mean, they must know it was kind of sketchy.
Yeah, they're like, hey, here's a couple $100,000. Just go back to work. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
100%. You didn't know those guys on the plane.
There's been some weird deaths, man, lately. The Matt Perry one, the One Direction one.
Oh, the one, that was crazy.
I mean, that's sketchy.
It was sketchy. And it's hard to make conspiracies about that when just someone passes away like that. And that's why I don't like to talk too much about it, especially because they said he was very, he was struggling with his mental health. He was struggling with alcohol abuse. But what's sketchy is the Snapchat he posted right before, like 2 hours before he supposedly jumped off or got whatever it was pushed off. He was just happy. He was eating. He's like, oh, he's like beautiful. Where was it? Argentina.
The girl, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And they're just like, oh, we're eating dinner. Great day. And then 3 hours later, it's like this guy passed away. He was yelling in the hotel room, and he was, out of control. It's like, how does that happen so quickly? I don't know. I thought it was really interesting, but
a couple of people just got charged yesterday. Did you see that?
Yeah. Was it for giving them
the drugs? Yeah. The hotel employee.
The hotel employee?
Yeah, I think they got the WhatsApp messages, and they didn't want to report it because they gave him the drugs, so they didn't want to get in trouble.
Wow.
So they're going to get charged, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was someone just dealing with a lot, but I don't know, man.
Who knows?
I always like to question stuff because it's someone's life, man.
Yeah.
And if he was struggling, then that's really sad, but if he wasn't, then hopefully something comes out.
Yeah, mental health is no joke. But the Matt Perry one was interesting to me.
That one really pissed me off. Just like all the street doctors that they leaked their text messages because he overdosed.
Yeah.
And on ketamine, and all the doctors were like, "Oh, let's see how much we can get out of this like loser or something." And just these really rich doctors just sending these devious messages like, "Oh, charge him $20K for this ketamine, charge him $30K," and I guess his assistant or something they're injecting him without any training.
Damn.
Just a lot of weird stuff, man. And yeah, drugs are no joke, bro. And those doctors all got what was coming to them. They all got arrested, and I'm pretty sure they're all in jail now.
Wow. I didn't know it was ketamine overdose.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, because he was using it as treatment. He was getting treated for, I don't know, I think it helps with anxiety or depression.
Yeah, it's a
So
psychedelic.
you get a really small medical dose of it just to help your, whatever you're going through. But he got a little excited with it, and people took advantage of his addiction. So these doctors were just taking advantage of someone who got addicted, and the assistant started just injecting into him without any training, and the guy ends up passing away. And he needed help, and those guys just took advantage of him for money, and the guy passed away.
Damn. That's kind of how Michael Jackson passed away too, right? The injections.
Yeah, well, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's a whole nother story. I don't think he overdosed.
It would be weird if he did to me. Yeah.
I think Michael Jackson was innocent. I think Michael Jackson picked a fight with the most powerful people in the world, which is the record labels. Tony Mottola, and he literally called him a devil and a racist, and how he was taking advantage of him and all the other people's records and all the money they were making him. And he picked a very, very bad fight. And what happens a year later? Barrage of allegations. Oh, Michael Jackson's a pedophile, this, that. No evidence on that.
Yeah.
There's no evidence on any case he got. He was completely innocent on all of them.
Wow.
But the issue is, back then, we don't have Instagram and Twitter to be like, yo, my name is Michael, this is my platform, I want to show the whole world that this is, me, or I'm a friend of Michael, I don't want to, I know him, he's a very good guy. But those record labels controlled the media at the time. So when they go against him, they have the newspapers and they have the regular TV, and they made him look out wacko jacko. Everyone thought this guy was a monster. They made him out to a literal monster, and everyone was scared of the guy. What happens? Nothing, or no evidence on him. But those guys ran the media, and he tried to speak out for all the artists and for him, because that he was so big, Michael Jackson, that he was buying shares of Sony, and he was getting ownership of Sony just off of buying shares, and he was buying the rights back to his own music.
Wow.
Because they were taking advantage big time of, they were taking all of his money.
Damn.
And so he's like, no, this is where I'm going to step up. He realized how powerful he was, how big he was, and he starts speaking up, and then bang, 1 year later, this guy's a monster. He's, pedophile, all this. There was absolutely no evidence. It's actually so sad, bro. And this is the main reason why I think he didn't overdose, because his bodyguard was his father figure. And his bodyguard passed away a year before Michael Jackson did. So he had to get a new bodyguard. His new bodyguard was a man named Fahim Muhammad, 21-year-old, just graduated college, his new bodyguard. A year later, Michael Jackson overdoses, okay? So the bodyguard now is no longer Michael Jackson's bodyguard. Who does he go become the bodyguard for? P. Diddy.
What?
Yeah, this guy's P. Diddy's bodyguard.
No way.
Yeah, this Fahim Muhammad guy's in all the lawsuits right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So the new bodyguard of Michael Jackson gets assigned to him. Michael Jackson passes away, and then he works for P. Diddy. Now P. Diddy has all these allegations for drugging people, for sexually assaulting them. And this bodyguard's name is in all the lawsuits. So that's the main reason why I think that Michael Jackson didn't overdose, because that's such a sketchy timeline. He calls out Sony. He becomes a pedophile a year later with no evidence that we find out. And then his bodyguard passes away, gets a new one. Michael Jackson then overdoses. That new bodyguard now works for P. Diddy, and now they're under fire.
That is so crazy.
But no one knows about that, bro, because no one cares at the end of the day. It's over.
Yeah.
But when you look into it, you're like, nah, that is insane.
There's some connections with P. Diddy and Tupac's death. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I haven't looked too much into that because I was so distracted with all the lawsuits. But I know that a lot of people think that he called the shots on.
They just
him.
arrested the guy. He was in Vegas, the murderer.
Really?
Yeah. This was like a year ago, I think. They found the murderer.
And he's arrested for.
Yeah, I don't know if he got sentenced
Did
with.
he call out P Diddy or no?
I gotta look into that.
I think that's the conspiracy.
I think that
right?
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously P Diddy wouldn't be the one to pull the trigger, but he might have called the shot with him and Biggie.
And
dude.
Biggie.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I think that's why everyone is also sus on Jay-Z, because when Biggie was gone, that's when Jay-Z got up, and Diddy's the one who helped Jay-Z rise to fame in his career. So they think these two guys were just plotting.
Crazy.
Like, let's get rid of the competition, and me and you, we run things. And they did.
Wow. They did for a while.
Yeah.
I think their reign might be coming to an end.
Hopefully.
Well, dude, yeah. Well, dude, it's been fun again. Where can people find your stuff?
Yeah, You Won't Believe Me Official. Thank you so much. Post every day, but check it out if you're into conspiracies and exposing evil, seeking the truth. So we're getting after it, man.
Boom. We'll link the TikTok and IG below. Thanks for coming on again.
Thank you, bro.
Yep. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.